green energy failed to meet the demand during Winter Storm Elliott in the United States, fossil fuels are needed to keep us alive. Daily Caller Jack McAvoy reports renewable energy was unable to generate sufficient power to meet elevated energy demand during Christmas Eve snowstorms that plummeted the northeastern United States and Texas. Although wind turbines, solar panels, and other forms of green energy have been consistently touted by Biden administration as reliable alternatives to fossil fuels like coal and natural gas, renewables accounted for a small percentage of grid's power output after snowstorm and bomb cycle nearly caused power outages in New England and Texas. Grid operators in both areas were forced to burn oil, a fuel that is significantly less efficient than natural gas, to avoid power outages as renewable energy sources were stymied by the harsh weather. Fossil fuels are needed to keep us alive, and we see this when climate idealism meets the reality of weather. Larry Behrens, communication director for Power of the Future, a nonprofit that advocates for American energy workers, told Daily Caller News Foundation, saying energy and electricity infrastructure that took years to build is being undone with a stroke of a pen because of what the climate cult is pushing. When the cyclone, dubbed Storm Elliott, caused blizzards in New England on December 24th, New England grid operator ISO&E declared an energy emergency level 1 due to potential power shortages and called on its customers to voluntarily cut energy consumption. That same day, renewables across the region's grid accounted for just 6% of the region's energy mix, while fuel oil and natural gas produced over 55% of the region's power, according to Bloomberg. People hear so much about renewables and think they're a huge portion of the energy mix when they are not, especially not in New England. Meredith Angwin, author of Shorting the Grid, The Hidden Fragility of Our Electric Grid, told the CNF. Angwin also noted that while natural gas is normally used as a stopgap to supply the region with energy during the winter, gas shortages have persisted throughout most of the year and have been exacerbated by Russia's invasion of Ukraine. New England tends to use oil to generate electricity when natural gas prices are high, causing imports of the fuel to drop, ISO&E lead communications specialist Matt Cackley told DCNF. On December 24th, the Department of Energy declared an energy emergency in Texas and gave the Electrical Liability Council of Texas, ERCOT, permission to forego environmental restrictions and burn fuel oil to prevent energy shortages, according to a department order. Wind, solar, and thermal energy were able to meet 22% of Texas's energy demand at the time. However, the renewables were unable to operate at full capacity due to the weather, causing the department to allow ERCOT to use oil to keep the lights on. Even though natural gas is the most widely used form of energy in the U.S., temperatures became so cold that pipelines and wells transporting gas began to freeze, straining the energy supplies in Texas, New England, and several other parts of the country, Bloomberg reports. Though the variability of wind and solar are well known and discussed a lot, these freezes also show the flimsiness of the gas system. Michael Weber, energy resource professor at the University of Texas in Austin, told Bloomberg. Wind power is the second largest source of energy in Texas and generated 20% of the state's power in 2021, according to the Energy Information Administration. However, wind turbines do not operate well in cold weather or windy conditions, as they can be destroyed if wind speeds are too high, Angwin said. They have a capacity factor of about 30%. That is the percentage of time that they can operate, she said. Although northeastern states are nearby the Appalachian and Marcellus Shale natural gas basins, gas pipeline projects have been previously blocked by the New York government and environmental groups. An increase in coal plant retirements and a lack of natural gas pipelines could create long-term vulnerabilities for the grid across the country, according to a December report produced by the North American Electric Reliability Corporation, an energy watchdog. Wind energy, a power source that the Biden administration is looking to rapidly expand, currently accounts for roughly just 18% of the region's green energy power generation, while the bulk of renewable energy is provided by burning refuse and wood according to ISO-NE. We cannot cut out the fuel some people want to get rid of because we will be at the mercy of the weather without them. Hoping renewables work when we need them to is not a strategy, Barron said. This is originally on Daily Caller News Foundation on WND. Please leave your comments and thank you for your support. Kindly support my Patreon account. The daily posts are 5 videos daily and they are totally different from what I have on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for your support and that you find all my content so interesting. You'll find the Patreon account details in the description box.